going by the number of cases of soldiers fleeing the battleground, it hasn't had a very significant impact. In 2024, the DRC government decided to lift a moratorium on the death penalty. They said that they did this to purge the army of traitors. They were saying there were soldiers, Congolese soldiers, who were working with the M23 rebels and the Rwandan Defense Forces and giving them information which was enabling them to capture more territory. So they were saying this was the reason that they lifted the death penalty. And there have been a number of soldiers who have been sentenced to death since 2024, but we are seeing a continuation of this kind of acts of discipline by Congolese forces. And it's because the DRC army has had a long record of indiscipline, corruption, which has really plagued operations like the current war that is going on. And these are things that are supposed to be ideally sorted out during peacetime, but the government is really struggling now to enforce discipline while a war is going on. So it's a very big challenge that they're facing, but the government of President Felix Tshisekedi has announced that there are major reforms that are underway to ensure that the government, the army, the troops operate according to the law. For a couple of days now, there has been no fighting in the eastern city of Goma. People have started going back to open their shops. Business is slowly returning back to normal. Recently the M23 rebels had a very large meeting at a stadium in Goma and urged all people to go back to work, civil servants to go back to work, and they said those who do not will be regarded as people who have absconded from duty and they will be fired. They also urged schools to reopen. We've been told that some of the schools have reopened, although very few pupils have attended because there's still a lot of fear in the population.
The reopening was not effective not only because the parents did not send their children although the teachers were there, but also the teachers who were there, it was to make an inventory. And as we just said, the priority will be to open up banks so that teachers can access their salaries, which could help them.
And many people, especially those who have been displaced, who are living on the outskirts of Goma, are still in very dire need of food, water and medicine. We've been told that the airport, the international airport in Goma, is where many humanitarian organizations have been supplying relief items to these people who were displaced. And so it has been shut down by the M23 rebels, and that has become very difficult for them to support these people. So the government in DRC has been calling for the rebels to open the airport. We also heard from leaders from the East African community and the Southern African Development Community during a regional summit in Dar es Salaam calling for that airport to be opened. So we're waiting to see how things will turn out in the days ahead.